Hello, I'm Boomhauer69, and in today's video I'm going to talk about my idea with building a homeless shelter in my area for the homeless people and families in my community area that simply are homeless and stuff and don't have a place to stay. My idea is to help out. One way to help out those in need is through the YouTube AdSense revenue, generate enough views off my videos where I could take the millions of dollars it would take and build a homeless shelter in my area through the YouTube AdSense revenue thing where I make money off the ads off my YouTube videos, be able to build a homeless shelter. What it would be is simply I would build something that's kind of resembles more kind of like a hotel kind of thing where especially the rooms would be what you would normally get in a standard motel hotel situation is what I would offer up to the homeless and stuff. Like, for example, the single one person homeless person, the room would have just your standard full size bed, and then you have your little table and your mini fridge and microwave, and some, of course, a lot of hotels will offer up like a TV with some cable or satellite, and the only thing difference I would do there is instead of a television set, I would just have a computer in the room where the homeless person would be able to access the internet and maybe look up jobs or what have you, or get in contact with family members and let them know their situation and stuff. So as far as like entertainment goes in the room, there would be obviously free Wi-Fi and plus standard computer in the room versus a television set, so that way they could have access to the internet and stuff in case they don't have any internet devices or anything like that. But yeah, you just have your standard, shower, bathroom, from like most hotels have, your closet space, your bed, and then your little table and chairs, and then like I said before, microwave, mini fridge, and dresser, standard amenities you see in a typical motel hotel you stay at anywhere. And now for like the families that are homeless, family people in need and stuff, I would, if I had the millions of dollars to do all this, I would build for them. I would have rooms that were basically a mini apartments where you would have a little kitchenette area, a bathroom, and then maybe one bedroom, and then one bedroom, a mini kitchen area, with a little apartment size, stove and range, and then the living space would have at least a couple standard maybe full to queen size beds and stuff. The mini apartments I would build for the homeless families to be able to have a place to stay in. They would be more like what most hotels and motels would consider a suite or something, because that's what I do. As far as rooms go, they would just be, the basic what you normally get in a standard motel hotel. But the family rooms would be mini. I call it mini apartments. You'd have one bedroom, a living space, and then a little kitchenette area, and then of course bathroom amenities. I would also offer up a day room type situation where it would be basically a library / computer lab where homeless people who do not have access to mobile devices and stuff would be able to come, get on the computer, do whatever they need to do to get on the internet, look up whatever, get on, have access to the internet, so they can get in touch with friends and family members, because I know social media has became really important. A lot of people have Facebook and stuff, and they can communicate with friends and loved ones to let them know, hey, I'm here at this homeless shelter in their day room, blah, 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 get the help they need, because, sometimes homeless people come from out of state, and so maybe they need to use the internet to get in touch with loved ones and family members, people that could help them out of state and different things and stuff. And then also a cafeterium that would offer up free offer up meals and stuff, like most soup kitchen most soup kitchens do, offer up the 3 meals a day where they can come and get their 3 meals a day and fill their stomach up and stuff. And also, I would have rooms that the community could also rent out, like little classrooms and classroom type rooms where people could come, rent them out, and maybe have their own own like hobby club and stuff. Maybe that's kind of choking me. Have maybe like a hobby. Maybe somebody out there wants to form a hobby group with locals in the community and offer up like little classroom sized rooms where they can do the hobbies. Say somebody's into model airplanes and maybe they want to get together with local people in the community and build model airplanes together, and they can run a spot and have their little party, their little get together. Or maybe somebody wants to have bingo or something, or maybe rooms for people who want to start their own AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, or maybe someone wants to start a drug rehab support group or whatever. Have rooms that would be useful for those sort of situations. Also, office space for local government and nonprofit organizations that help out people in need. Like your welfare offices and stuff. What they call family independent agencies and nonprofit like churches and stuff that help donate money and stuff to help get people off their feet. SNAP, EBT, your standard welfare programs that the government offer excuse me, and stuff, and be able to have offices where caseworkers can come. Maybe the homeless person's already got a caseworker and they need a place to come and chat with the caseworker, get them the help they need, and have offices where caseworkers or lawyers or whatever can come chat with the person and have a little space for them to do some one-on-one private talking and get to the bottom of their needs and stuff. I would also offer up a have set up like a little walk-in medical clinic, so that way homeless would be able to get some medical attention, maybe seek some doctors and stuff, and maybe have something set up where the doctors are like a volunteer thing, maybe, or if I'm rich and loaded with money, like I'm making tons of money off from YouTube, then it would be, and I knew I could do it, then it would just be paying the doctors and those people with medical bills where the doctors get covered and stuff. That would be kind of my goal with the whole having a homeless shelter with a walk-in medical clinic, is maybe have it set up where I'd have enough money where I could just tell the homeless person, you don't got to worry about paying your medical bills, it's covered by me or something. That would be really neat to do. If the Lord willing, if it was Jesus Christ's will. But that's why I do a walk-in medical clinic, so that way people can get the medical attention they need, because some homeless people happen to be just simply mentally ill and they might need their medications or something, or they simply caught a cold and didn't have the proper warm clothing, because we are getting into the colder wintertime season, and so sometimes you get the sniffles, or you can easily get pneumonia in this weather and stuff, and be able to have a walk-in clinic where they can go get the help they need to get their medications, whatever. And then also, I would also have a little, I guess you call them mini police station, so local volunteer law enforcement would be able to have a place to set up and and help out and stuff too as well, in case any homeless person came to the shelter and they had something dangerous on them, or drugs, alcohol, and certain things that are illegal, or they had some sort of illegal items on them and stuff. We'll just call it that, where law enforcement could check their baggage and stuff. Because that's one thing I would do is have it most likely set up where if a homeless person came, they would have to submit to what they call, law enforcement calls a search and seizure and stuff, to make sure nobody was had anything illegal on them and stuff, if they want to stay. Because one thing is, if I was to do a shelter like this, there'd be quite a few homeless. I would tell them right out if they was under any influence of any illegal substance, drugs, or if they even had drugs on them, I would tell them nicely, oh, you can't stay at our shelter because you're under the influence of drugs and stuff, or if they was under that influence, say you can't, and then hand them over to the proper authorities and law enforcement and stuff, and tell them, hey, you're under the influence of a illegal substance, we can't let you stay here, but we'll let law enforcement deal with you, because obviously, they need to be punished and stuff. You're gonna do illegal things, you obviously need to be punished and stuff on that. But yeah, that's one of the things I'd offer, and like I mentioned, community classes. I would also, if money wasn't an issue and I had the millions and millions of dollars to do this, I would also have a gymnasium, maybe a indoor swimming pool as well. Have a gymnasium and exercise room where the community can come and be able to exercise, work out. Because my idea would be is make something that not only would the homeless in the area would benefit from, but also the local community. Have something for everyone. Even have a nice little rec room with some, table tennis and billiards and maybe air hockey and some arcades and stuff, something where local youth could hang out and stuff, those are a possibility where people can come hang out and play cards with people and stuff, and just make like a building that would cater to the community. Because where I live in this hick town, Saranac, there ain't a whole lot much for the younger generation to do, so I would always keep that in mind and stuff, because I know what it was like when I was a young guy growing up in this area, and maybe even add like an auditorium, that people could, communities could, check out and host big events and stuff, and have like a big old auditorium type party hall thingy for people to be able to check out. Local businesses like local factories could rent it and have their company party and stuff, and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's my ultimate goal, is to build a homeless shelter. It would just be basically a high-rise, what they call a high-rise building, or some people would call it a skyscraper, I guess. But yeah, it would be a high-rise building with multiple floors and rooms, where I'd probably have like on one side like rooms for just a single homeless person. I call it the one-man band, and then on the other side have rooms that are like mini apartments for homeless families and stuff. And obviously, like with we're just single homeless people, I do like most homeless shelters do, where you get a room for the night, you check out in the morning, and then you come back in the evening time to reserve your room and stuff for single homeless people. And then homeless families, I'd probably do things a little differently, where I'd be tempted to say, look, you get this room for this amount of days, and then you gotta check out, and then maybe have them reapply again or something, and try to give, all homeless and families in need, an opportunity to be able to have a room, like, for families, maybe do a thing where a homeless family comes and they they get the room for, say, maybe a week, and then they have to check out and stuff. Obviously, if I had the money and the millions of dollars to pull this off, because it probably take about $5-10 million just to build a structure, I haven't really looked into the costs and stuff, but when I get the moolah and I say, hey, I'm there, I can finally do it, then I'm going to definitely get with the builders and the drafters and all them people and get the ball rolling and stuff. It would be also find a perfect location and area. One thing I would also do is add make it a bus drop off where the bus companies around can pick up and drop people off there and make it like a full bus route, and maybe add like a little mini bus station. And if I was that kind of rich, open up my own little bus station where we could have buses traveling from Grand Rapids to Lansing and stuff, because those are the two big cities near me. I considered the two main ones anyways are Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Lansing, the state capital, which to me would be a great idea, because then people who really can't afford automobiles and their only way to get around is maybe, say, a bicycle or a moped. Some people mopeds more, say a bicycle would give them opportunity to, hey, just travel to the bus station, get their tickets and be able to go there and just have the standard, times, have something where like at like 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 a.m. in the morning, a bus departs for Grand Rapids and Lansing and stuff. Have a lot of amenities that would definitely help out the community and the homeless people as well. Because the good thing was like the Rapid system, the main bus station in downtown Grand Rapids. You can, go there and get on a bus, get on a Greyhound, and simply go anywhere where you want to. Anywhere a Greyhound will take you, and that can be beneficial to a homeless person that maybe they became homeless in Michigan and they recently lived in another state and realized, hey, I came to Michigan, I became homeless, maybe I'll go back to my home state where I originally was from and be better off, and stuff, Or the homeless, or the people just, say, hey, I'm not making it here in Michigan, so try another state and stuff, So I think having some sort of bus station transportation giddy up would be perfect for at a shelter and stuff. But yeah, it would definitely, if I had the money and the funding to do so, it would definitely be something that would benefit not just the homeless community, but the whole community in my area in general and stuff. That would be my ultimate goal and stuff and things. And of course, granted, there are going to be people, you build something like that are going to not want to go near it because they're thinking homeless people, and you're going to get that, and stuff, but you're going to get those people. But, if you design it just right, you can have where one side is all the kind of like the rooms for the homeless and different things, and then the community amenities are over here. Because basically what I would do is just have a way I would build it somehow, have it designed by the proper architects and engineers. Is just have a right in the middle, a big old lobby area, and then have where homeless stuff would be kind of more on this side, and then community stuff maybe on that side and stuff. I'd also have a Wigwam church because I believe in Jesus Christ, so I would have a non-denominational place of worship, have something where have a church set up where local churches and different denominations could check it out certain days and stuff, and and preach and give a sermon to homeless, and show the people in the area homeless and other people in general what's out there for religions. Maybe some homeless person might be a Baptist or a Methodist, or they might be Catholic or something, and give the local churches around an opportunity, their pastors or elders, because some churches, they have a group of people that preach and stuff, and can come and let them know, hey, we exist, and give their testimony about what they're about and stuff. So yeah, that is one of my ultimate goals. I am trying to work on stuff, and I wanna, and how I'm doing that is through the AdSense revenue of YouTube and stuff, trying to raise the money to make that a possibility, and make and do something and stuff. It's gonna take a while, but eventually, the more views I get and stuff off these videos, the more money I come in, and eventually, I know God answers prayers, and it will be possible where one day I will be saying, hey, I can do this, and stuff. But if you want your ideas to succeed, you got to do something about it, and one way of doing about it is talking about it, because the way I'm trying to go about this and getting the funding is simply through YouTube and stuff. Because once I make the money, like let's say I made the millions and millions of dollars off the videos, then I can put that money towards it, and then after it's all built, I will still have like annual job revenue coming in, where I can possibly, do things and fund these projects. And so I'll be able to, once it's built, I'll still have funding to keep everything going, because, well, electrical in a building like that is going to be quite interesting. All the utility bills and stuff, be able to have the money to, to run those things, because electric ain't free and it ain't cheap. You can thank Thomas Edison for that. Nikola Tesla, he had some ideas for free energy, but Thomas Edison, he put an end. I say he put an end to that. But yep, I would definitely. That's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, because then afterwards there'll still be money coming in off the videos. Obviously, if a video went super viral and got lots and views, then even afterwards, there's still going to be money coming in to fund majority of the structure and building and all the utilities and different things. Obviously, building rooms that the community can rent out and stuff is another way to help generate income and stuff. Even making a few little retail shop businesses and stuff, can be helpful. Like, I even thought there's a thrift store that I like in my area that I think they do what they do is wonderful. And I even thought if I was able to build this structure, build them a space where they could possibly move their business or open up a second location and stuff. And so yeah, but yeah, and stuff, and even letting a person maybe add a little restaurant or something into the structure, and obviously having a auditorium, ballroom type area that's rentable space that you rent out for a fee, and then that helps cover the cost of the utilities and everything that comes with it. Obviously taxes too and stuff, but yeah, and I know if you know how to do it, there's also ways to even have government some help with grant money and stuff. I know there's some non-profits places even go that far, but the thing with that is then you kind of got government kind of telling you what to do and say, you do this instead of this. And so I would try to my best build up a YouTube channel and just pay for it all on my own. Yes, I know it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not just going to be, I wake up tomorrow morning saying, oh, cool, I can do this now. No, it's going to take some time. All I got to do is just keep making videos every so often about the idea, keep talking about it, keep the new subscribers, old subscribers in the loop, let them know, hey, I want to do this and make it a reality. And then eventually I keep talking about the similar topic. YouTube's going to keep recommending it to those people that are looking at these sort of videos. And then eventually, boom, I'll be able to do it. And then people will say, wow, he did that. He actually made it possible. Yes. Now, as far as like how many rooms, office space, and stuff would it have, and classrooms, that would all determine how much money I had at the time and what could be added. Obviously, I would design something that have something designed up where you can add to it. You know, do things a little bit at a time. Where at first it might just be rooms for the homeless, and where you just add on to it, and over time where it finally says, okay, yep, it's complete and stuff. But yeah, I would definitely build something that would main purpose would be to help the homeless in the area, but something that the whole community could enjoy as well, you know, and stuff. And so yeah, that's what my goal is, to build some sort of homeless shelter in the future to help out the homeless. And even if I couldn't build the big grand thing I want to build, you know, hey, if I could just build a little mini apartment place, you know, like a little mini, maybe little 20 unit little apartment building or whatever, little kind of a rinky dinky thing. Hey, that's better than nothing, you know. So yeah, so, you know, because I do want to help out those in need, and that's one way I want to do it and stuff. And so yeah, so by you hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button and sharing this video with everyone you know, and helping me reach more and more people, you're going to help me make this dream, this goal idea a possibility. And I hope you all have a good day, and thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, because if it wasn't for all you watching this video right now, all my dreams and ideas would not be possible. So please subscribe, share, like, and don't forget to leave you a comment down below, because that even helps the Google, YouTube algorithm and stuff. Hope you all have a good day, and thank you for watching Boomhauer69's YouTube channel.